Boys, we are back. Yes, the Punters guide for brand new jump season. And it's a little bit different because not only can you see us on YouTube, you can listen to us now on Spotify. So you don't have to look at our ugly mugs and just hear about what we've got to say. If you enjoyed the show, then please hit the like and subscribe button. Even if it's by accident, every little helps, as they say in a well-known supermarket ad. And of course, you'll be alerted to when we do release a new episode. Frankie, Joel, what a way to start. We thought for the new season, let's get stuck into Cheltenham, Frankie. It's what it's all about.
It is, yeah, and it's nice that we're going to know our fates with selections by Saturday evening, because we can talk about the festival all year and we can talk about horses that are going to run well or might run well, but I like the fact that we are going to get stuck into some selections, watch it on Saturday and hopefully find a few winners. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a class weekend. I'm there both days. And I don't think I actually did too well this time last year. I think I ended up backing a couple of Nichols horses that were beaten favourites, so I might be staying away from him this year.
But we'll be every Friday, say for the Punters guide, and what's closer, probably around Christmas time, we will start our Road to Cheltenham series. So it's at We Start Here, Joel. And there's a big Irish invasion this weekend, not as big as there will be in March.
No, 100%, and I don't think any of them will win this weekend, but we'll get onto that. I think you made me paranoid as well, talking about looking at our ugly mugs and everything, because throughout the summer, watching the flat season, every ad break, I keep seeing the Betfred TV ad. I haven't been asked to be in it. Matt, you've not been asked to be in it, and I just see some good-looking guy in a white shirt, and all he does is laugh at it.
That's the money shot.
Well, you see, Frankie's part of the heart of us now because we can do Frankie's 4 every Friday. I was going to say Frankie's 4 plays, but we had to go with Frankie's 4 and do it every single Friday. So join us for them as well across all our social media. And if you like
Joel,
listening,
here's a stat for you on Irish. None of these Irish winners, and regretfully, I'm saying the same. I don't think I'm going to put one Irish horse. But I looked at this card last year, and 5 of the 7 winners were Irish trained, and they didn't actually bring that many over. So they dominated this Saturday last year. But by the sounds of it, neither are going to put up an Irish horse.
The book is out. The book is out. Not one Irish horse in there this weekend.
Well, thanks for interrupting. But yeah, I was going to say, if you like Joel, you can hear him on the radio every morning as well. Plenty of time for stats, Frankie. Yeah, we're going to look at Cheltenham. We'll look at Kelso. We've got to look at Kelso because the returning star, Corrick, got no chance of winning the Grand National. Joel Ross Rambler is back in action. And, of course, we'll look at the final Group 1 on the flat, which is for the Triumph Hurdle contingent for a couple of years' time as well. But we'll start with Cheltenham. Come on, boys. We love it. Obviously, it's a long time till March. Let's try and get some cash in our back pockets this weekend. But it's a tricky opener, isn't it? 2-mile handicap chase, 12 go to post. And again, a couple of Irish raiders in here. Where we start, who wants to start?
I'll start. I think I'll start because I'm starting with next best. Right, you're saying it's tricky. I've got my next best going in here, and it's Red Rookie around 11-2, 6-1 for Emma Lavelle. I mean, 38% strike rate so far, 6 from 16. Goes well fresh, this horse, 140 rated. It ran at Cheltenham in the Arkle. I think it was about 80-1 or 100-1, and outrun his odds when he fell at the second last. Won off 137. It's rated 140 now. I think the stable form, because the stable won right last year, I think this is banging, and I do not like this favourite at all. A bit like Corrick Rambler could not win the Grand National this year. The favourite guy must not a chance. So Red Rookie.
Then.
First one of the season, and we're bang in agreement. I love Red Rookie. Great, exactly the same as what Joel says. Well fresh over this track and trip in the Arkle. All right, he was going to be beaten, but he was running a cracker when he fell at the last. Emma Lavelle is in absolutely cracking form as well. Dancing on My Own, I mean, he needs to come down the handicap to get ready for Aintree next year. And of course, Guy's found the winning third. He's only won 3 times. 2 of them have been the last twice. He's been a nearly horse. But yeah, I'm in full agreement, Red Rookie. Frankie, is it a nap hand?
It's not a nap hand, no. Guy, you just mentioned there, be a nightmare to own. Second 9 times. I find it really hard to make a decision in this. Before Midnight, obviously now trained by Fergal's quite interesting. We used to be part of the Sam Thomas fan club for us last season. Had a spin over hurdles, was a decent enough fourth, just clattered the last. Goes off a 135, but with Mr. Ben Sutton on board, who I don't know a whole lot about, but he takes off 7. So before Midnight, off a marker 128, off of his best handicap chase form is pretty dangerous. But Joel said he can't have the favourite beat, right? Cheltenham is going to be like a carpet. It's good to soft forecast. You know how good the ground's going to be. Haddock's Dizobo, when he won, I know it was on heavy ground and probably the horses behind were just absolutely flogged because he went in good pace. But if he goes on the front end like I'm pretty certain he will, he has in the past and most of them always do, jumps well, sets a good pace, I'm not sure they're going to catch him up the hill. I think that with a good confident ride from Jamie Moore, the favourite could win this.
Love it. All right, bang.
Come in here. Was it Ellison du Gite last year at this meeting?
Yeah.
Is that
November meeting?
When it drifted. It started the drift.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and went off about 6-1 and looked like, it just say it didn't look off to me. I think the drift has already started on this favourite. And I think the price will contract very much on the next best. And I'm in agreement with you, Matt, there straight away. Red Rookie. Stupid price for probably the hottest trainer in form at the minute.
Right. Let's move on then to the 150, the Massens Hurdle. And I was looking at this, and just give me some of the winners in the last decade. Tiger Roll, Sco Royale, Pearl of the West, Kel Destin, Botox Has, and then last year's I Like to Move It, and Pied Piper. It looks, with the greatest of respect, an awful renewal this time, doesn't it? I mean, we've got Hero, fair enough. Paul Nicol, 50-1 winner at Ascot last year, then finished second at Aintree. They were decent efforts. Then you've got Spirit Danu, who, with all due respect, probably been beating trees and is now massively up in class. Punted are less disappointed on a couple of occasions last year. I mean, we've got nothing of the quality we've had in previous winners in this lineup, but something's got to win. I'm going to have to sit on the fence because I don't fancy anything, but something's got to win. We'll start with you, Frankie, this time. What do you think?
Yeah, if I was you, I'd be sitting on the fence too. I don't know. You mentioned the favourite 50-1 winner at Ascot. What might give you a bit more confidence if you were going to be backing him is that he did go off favourite when they got him from France in the juvenile hurdle, was well back that day and 6-4 favourite, was pulled up. So we didn't know much more, but obviously then did go and win at Ascot 2 starts later. So they must have thought he was half decent when they got him at least. Spirit Danu, you said, has been beating trees. I agree. Almost by process of elimination, though, I'm hoping that there's still a lot more. You know, we haven't seen the best of him because he hasn't needed to. And I'm hoping that he is actually quite a nice horse at home and stepped up in class will step up to level that. So I'm going to go for a more double to kick us off. But yeah, it's quite tricky. You kind of want to see a bit of market support for one, hopefully, for Spirit Danu, because, like I said, he hasn't had to show his best yet. He's won easily so far.
I mean, it's double figures bar those two, Joel. Do you take something each way, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, there's dogs barking in the background. There'll be dogs barking in this race. I'm going for one that's rated 113. I did an hour and a half on this, and I couldn't get a handle on it. Again, it's your Betfred free bet. It's £2.50 each way. I'd have to go for Sam and Nigel Twiston-Davis on Mr. Mackay. He's got Cheltenham form. He's fourth in a bumper. Beat School Days over. That was Nichol's horse. School Days over Nichol's horse a couple of weeks ago at Huntington by 3.5 lengths. Given a positive ride from Sam Twiston-Davis. Nigel owns a horse, so he might want to be wanting to flog this on. So I'm hoping that Sam goes and tries, makes all, and it's either shiz or bust for Mr. Mackay around 14-1. But yeah, I don't think I'll be putting a lot of my hard-earned on here because it might be the worst renewal of this race I've ever seen. But a winner is a winner.
Yeah, it is. Never work with kids and dogs, kids and animals. And she wanted to go out, let her out, and she's gone out barking. Yeah, you can hear her there. Right, let's look at this big handy. Yeah. No. Right, let's look at this handicap chase then, the 225. I was at Ludlow the day when Quick Draw won. Was never going to lose that race from the moment the flow fell. Absolutely bolted up, but it wasn't a great race, and he's a lot higher now. I like a couple. You mentioned Ida Santos today has been in good form. Under supervision, has got a decent record when fresh, and he's well handicapped as well. And Santos today was saying in the week about how much he's looking forward to him. And if there's support, and this is the important thing, they're very likely raced Am I Right? 5 starts over fences, 1 on debut, then went into Grade 2 company, finished 3rd. Unseated rider in Grade 1 at Leopardstown over Christmas. 3rd behind the Devil's Coachman and Ramillies in that rough race at Naas, and they went off 11-2 from the Irish Grand National when pulled up. If there's money for this one, if there's one in here that could go right to the top or integrated company, it could be Am I Right? I also like Under Supervision. What do we like, Joel?
I'm a bit like you on your Tinder profile. I like a couple. Lord Accord won this last year off 131, 132 this year, given pretty much the same prep run as last year as well. Last year it was Worcester and was given a very quiet run. This year Warwick, very quiet run. I genuinely think it's handbrake off, take the pot for Lord Accord. And one of my favourite horses that we backed all last season, frustrating, the Wolf. It would probably be 20-1 on the day. Second last year, look, it's down £3. The bonuses for this, Heskin off, Sean Bowen on. So I'd take Lord Accord and the Wolf, back the Wolf each way. And I'd probably go for the cheeky reverse forecast because you never know what happens. But I think the Wolves can come second or third in 2/3 of its races or something. It's no, go for it.
There we are. Naps landed, Frankie. Joel's tipping up the Wolf. If you're just joining us, by the way, if you're not with us last year, you'll know there's certain horses who'll pop up throughout the season who will followed over a cliff in the last few years. Most of them trained by Sam Thomas when it comes to these two, but the Wolf was certainly one of them, and Joel cannot let go.
I honestly can't let go. I think that's the reason why Mellon was retired, because I was trying to, get Mellon in at Wolverhampton.
When we were stood at Aintree together and I needed it for the last leg of the Yankee and it fell at the first, because the names escaped me.
Phoenix Way.
That's the Badger, yeah. Last leg, beautiful.
Be all over that first time out, I tell
you. Yeah, Phoenix Way. Although it did come fourth at the November meeting when we all backed him each way at 16s. So that wasn't bad.
Go on then, what wins this one? I say it's a tough one, really, isn't it?
I'm exactly the same as you, mate. There's no point me being here for this. You've said everything that I was about to say, both Under Supervision and Am I Right? You said Under Supervision goes well fresh. Just to add slightly to that, both of the times when he has gone well fresh have been at Cheltenham. He was second in a 3-mile handicap chase in 2021 on reappearance run, and he was third at the December meeting at Cheltenham on reappearance. So they're coming back for a crack at this. Like I said, he's well handicapped. Sam's looking forward to it. Pretty sure Sam rode a treble on one of these. Maybe it was the Friday of the October meeting at Cheltenham last year. So there's a lot going for Under Supervision. And then, yeah, Am I Right? I agree. Could be one that goes on to kind of top level chase races. Wasn't or could have potentially beaten Gaillard de Manille when unseating. That's a nice bit of form. And then, like you said, it was backed into favourite for the Irish National. So a lot going for Am I Right? Might back the pair of them, to be honest. I think they both got a good chance and they're both each way prices.
Yeah, that might be my way to play as well in that 225. Right, the first of many Pertemps qualifiers. Is it still the top six, top four?
Top four, isn't it?
Top four, isn't it? So there'll be loads vying for fourth place, trying to just sneak in, not ruin the handicap mark. It's a long way. It is exactly that. Yeah, doesn't really work for the podcast though, that, Joel. Pretending to ride.
Does this?
Right, 20 of them. It's a wide open field. I'm going to go last here, and I will let Frankie take the floor with this one. Again, you having a couple of darts?
I think so, yeah. We always say, one's going to be dying to finish fourth, and Gordon Elliott probably is the master of that. I don't want to say stay away from Ring Dufferin for that reason, because he might go and win. He actually has a decent bit of form. But, I mean, Charles, the four that came in the top four last year were good horses. Shoot First, he was really well handicapped at the time. Botox has a good season over hurdles and handicap hurdles. Ontoyer, we all fancied for the festival, and then ran well after that. Salvador Ziggy, I think, was nearly backed into favour, but I can't remember if he ran at the festival or not. But it was a really good top four last year, and they all had good seasons. And most of them were Irish. But I am of that opinion that one of these might go and win, but a couple of those Irish ones over will be looking to place for the festival. There's one at a big price. Where's he gone? Party Business. Ryan Williams was 5th at the festival 2 years ago. in the Martin Pipe, and then won at Aintree a 3 mile handicap hurdle. Had a terrible year last year, but has come down in the weights a bit. Has had the old wind surgery, and is 16. So I think he's got a good run in it. Party Business. Out of the other English train runners, Highland I like for Nicky Henderson, won well last time out, and then maybe a Mr. Mullins will have one. But I'm trying to pick up some places with a big price in this. I can't play with those at the top of the market, really. So Party Business each way will be my selection.
I feel like you both set your stall out early saying there'll be no Irish winners. And I think you've got to this race and you've gone, oh, no, I can't pick an Irish winner. I can't see how they don't win it. But obviously, Joel, you must have found an English train winner of this.
Well, I have. It's another one of those horses that you hold on to. 4 runs at Cheltenham. Rock My Way for Sid Hosey and Michael Nolan. Probably go off about 40 or 50 to 1 this, I reckon. It was drifting this morning. We put him up in January as one of the best bets of the weekend when he beat Pembroke of the Skeltons by a length and a half. And then he was second when I put him up again at 66s, because I keep putting the same horses up week in, week out, which you'll get every time they run. Ran the Albert Bartlett, was pulled up 2 out. It was completely outclassed. Ran again at Cheltenham in April, and it run right-handed, jumped right. It wasn't right at all. Finished tailed off. Has had the wind up, like a couple of these in this race have, and at a stupid price. I thought, we start the season. Let's have a look. I can avoid the top of the market. If you get an enhanced place terms, brilliant. Rock My Way for Sid Hosey and Michael Nolan.
Do you know what? You said we're staying away from Irish runners, Matt. I did fancy the Fav, but just putting up the Fav in a race like this is criminal, isn't it? So I tried to find something a bit more fun.
When you say Fav, which one? Ring Dufferin or? Yeah, well, no, right. So nice. It leads me nicely on. Thank you. Yeah, Bugs Moran again, favourite in the type of race, but he must have a massive chance. I know he's got to run a second itis, but there have been some big field handicaps he's been running on as well. I know the English handicappers probably had a bit of a reaction and stuck him up, but he's got to have every chance, isn't he? I expect to probably win here, get qualified, and then put him away maybe over the winter, wait for the better ground. He's got to have a massive chance. Party Business was also on my short list. He loves the big climb to the line. Obviously had a wind up since 4th at Haydock back in May, so he was certainly on my shortlist as well. But also like another Irish one called Moon Over Clune, who fell at Listowel when he was coming to win the race there and fell at the line. He didn't even fall, he just clipped the top and slipped a bit and lost his back end. He would have won that day. A close 4th up next time out of a 2.5 mile. James Smith on board, young lad. I've actually met him, lucky enough to meet him. He was riding a bit of work at John Joe O'Neill's, and then I saw him ride a winner at Tipperary a few weeks ago now. £7 claim is an absolute steal off this kid. He's only young. He's obviously, that's his dad, Matthew Smith, who's trained like Sir Ronald Pump. So he's got a really good grounding. Honestly, £7 a steal. Keep an eye on him. He'll be making big use of that. Moon Over Clune, 14, 16 to 1 each way. I think he'll be bang there. I think this one will be going to Ireland. Bugs Moran and Moon Over Clune each way. Certainly well worth having a look at in that 3 o'clock. Make a note of his name. Talking of making notes,
Matt, I've got a rule in handicaps. If a horse comes second 3 times, then back it, and it usually goes right, and the favourite ticks that box.
Big time.
Yeah, but hang on, it should have won last time out. I backed it last time out last month, and even though Jack Kennedy is the top jock, I think he gave it a shocker. He was only beaten half a length. There was a hold-up ride, and there was different county holding it up. And into a bit of trouble. So I think last day was the day, and I just stayed away from it because it's Irish and stop coming over here and nicking out prize money. Oh yeah, all right, don't worry about that, Jack. So this time, yes, absolutely, I've had it from the horse's mouth.
The dog's mouth.
Yeah, dog's mouth. But yeah, so back it. But was it finishing 3 times seconds? You back it to win next time.
Yeah, that's the rule. Right.
Flawless policy. It's not on TV, but we're going to have a look at it anyway because he's a huge name. He's Flooring Porter, the Stayers Dual 3 times Stayers Hurdle winner. Frankie, Dual 3 times?
3.
Yeah. He's won it. Yeah. Thanks. Doesn't really work holding your fingers up for the podcast though, Joel. He's making his chasing debut. We've got Henry de Brommer's got one as well, and 2 Nigel Twist and Davis runners against him. 8 years old. Is it a bit of an afterthought to go chasing?
Jules Stayers hurt.
Jules Stayers, I thought he was, yeah. And then he obviously, Jules. Pretty poor, that, isn't it? Anyway, he's won it twice. Can he get a winning chasing debut? I'm going to be against him. I'll tell you why shortly. Frankie.
I mean, you know what's happened here? It's owned by a good group of lads that have had so much fun with this horse, and they bought it for like $5,000 or something like that. I think it wasn't expensive anyway, and I've interviewed them a few times, and they are mad for it. You see him celebrating in the parade ring at Cheltenham. He's pretty much ran his course, hasn't he, in the Stayers Hurdle division. He obviously won it twice and then was still consistent, but consistently not good enough. So they've probably all got together and thought, probably not going to win another Stayers. Could we win a couple of Staying Hurdle races throughout the season in Ireland? Probably, but we want to have a crack at something else. So I think that's what's happened, and whether or not he can jump a fence, who knows? He obviously has been doing well enough at home to warrant coming to this race. But if he misses a few, it can be hard work, 3 miles over fences. And if he clatters a few, it can be hard work. So I can't see the prices. I don't know if you can, but I'd imagine he's probably going to be too short to back, not knowing how he jumps a fence. There's another, I thought there was another in here. There's not, actually. I was looking at a different horse. Toss again, I think he's got a decent bit of form. Won a Galway handicap, won his beginner's chase, and was second to Salvador Ziggy, who was a good horse of Gordon Elliott. So I think that's probably decent enough form to see Florian Porter struggle maybe over a couple of fences.
Yeah, but he's got stacks in hand, but this is a different ball game completely, Joel. What would you do if you would you be laying him here?
It was a watching race, isn't it? I mean, first of all, those good lads who own Florian Porter, can you get them to win a few quid and buy Constitution Hill and stick him over a fence? It's a watching brief. You're sitting there, it's cold outside, you're having your fiver on. I would just go Broadway Bay to make all for Nige. Nico takes a ride on this one. Nige got 2 in there. But again, Florian Porter could hack up, but at the same time, you don't want to see Florian Porter on the floor, do you? First time out. Might take to it, might not. Great bunch of lads, but it don't make your horse jump any better, does it? I didn't see it, and I don't really like that going, age of 8 or 9, going chasing. You've got to do it when they've, when they're young. Look how many trained horses I've trained.
Why would you do Broadway Boy?
I just thought it'd make all. I was just looking at some replays this morning. Why? What's done wrong? There's 4 horses. I don't fancy one of them because I don't know if
because he's won at Cheltenham under Sam. He won on his chasing debut at Worcester under Sam, and yet Sam rides with all being caught. Is that not a pointer in itself?
No. Right on these sort of things, when you see the number 1 jock on the second string, and it's normally something to do with an owner, isn't it? I don't know what the connection is here. We've all been caught. Well, I mentioned that horse earlier on. Wasn't that one of his best horses? It was meant to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, they beat Rock away last year. We were all over it.
Yeah,
that was absolute nap.
Yeah. He went to Ireland, disappointed in Ireland. Then he ran all right in Albert Bartlett. And he's built for a fence. He's absolutely massive. He's huge. And I just think the fact that Sam has got off a chase debutant winner to ride this on chase debut, I think of the 2, I'd definitely be with him. And I know it's asking a lot in ability-wise to match Florian Porter, but he's a chaser, out-and-out chaser, and he's definitely worth a couple of quid, I think, again. And you probably get a nice price with Florian Porter being in there. That's the way
But also, to be fair, you're not getting a bad replacement with Nico de Boinville, and he's probably a bit cooler over fences. Sam Twiston Davis is arguably been my last couple of years up there in top 3 jockeys every year. But Nico, when he's especially from the front, he's ice cold, isn't he? He doesn't panic. So for whatever the riding arrangements, and afterwards, whatever wins, when Florian Porter hacks up by 25 lengths, you'll tell, they say, Sam, why didn't you ride that? He's like, there's no point, look at him. But that was meant to be. I think Nye said that was...
You can see, I can see Florian Porter pulled up. When a horse is just having a bad time and You're just clattering a few.
He's not into it. He's not up for it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, and a price will dictate my opinion, which we haven't got yet. But it's a big ask, isn't it? 3 miles over fences for a horse that's spent his entire career over hurdles.
Yeah, it's a game of opinions, and Joel very much put his opinion up in April last year when he says Correct Rambler has got absolutely no chance of winning the Grand National. What happened, Joel?
It's not. I mean, it was a prize play. It's got absolutely no chance. If I see that clip one more time pop up, I no doubt people are going to send it to me on Twitter X this weekend as well. No chance, is it? No chance.
This is his comeback. He's going to be on a Gold Cup campaign this time. He's going to give a stone away on his seasonal return. Joel, can Correct Rambler win the Edinburgh Gin Handicap Chase this weekend?
No, Matthew, it can't. And Lucinda is going to Cheltenham. So there's your clue. All right, Scoo's going to be up at Kelso. And they're running this Edinburgh Gin thing. Haven't they got something to do with Edinburgh Gin? Is it their company or something? Or they've got shares now? I don't know what it is. Anyway, I listened to... I mean, she's great with the media. I think she's got a brilliant season anyway. It surely is. Lucinda Russell. But she was talking very much about how they have somebody who targets their horses, who is one of the best in the game. It's not the main target. We're going out there. We can get them fit at home. We don't need to run them. I think it was ran 4 times last year or whatever. The main target is the Grand National, which it won't win because we all know that Into Overdrive from Mark Walford will win the National this year. Again, without prices being up there, I have no idea what price that will be. I don't think it'll win. I think it'll just have a nice little pop around, and it needs to jump well because with the new rules of the Grand National, if somebody doesn't like the way it jumped, you can say sorry, you can't run in this next year. Which is ridiculous, isn't it? So I just went for Elvis Mail. We've put that up again before. Bruce Lynn on board for Nick Alexander. But again, it's one that you just watch. Look, we're only into like the first or second proper week of jumping here. It's the first big meeting of the year. You don't have to bet on every race. And probably watch the market in this. It's not a massive field, but if there's a few quid for one, have a little pop maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you got Elvis Mill and Empire Steel, regulars around here. Highland Hunter is useful for Paul Nicholls, changed ownership, changed yards. Could be interesting as well. Henry Daly's on fire, by the way, rapper.
Yeah.
I need to pick up, I know, but yard, it couldn't be in any better form. So, he's going to have all his own way, Correct Rambler. He's probably going to, he's around about 5 to 4 on the early show, Frankie. It's tempting when he's odds against, considering he's got such a class edge. But like Joel said, this isn't the target, is it?
It's not. It's quite amazing when you just have a look at. He's obviously here and offered 159 and got to carry top weight. You have a look. He won at the festival off of 146 and the national. Like how they ever got him to a festival off of 146 and then the national is pretty impressive. That race targeter does do a very good job. And as Joel said, this won't be the target. And if you look at racing post ratings, 30th of October, so pretty much the same day last year, ran to an RPR of 128 and finished 5th at Carlisle. So if he does that again, then he hasn't got much hope in this. But it is quite hard, like just for a festival and national winner, odds against. It's quite hard to go against him, isn't it? You just think surely he's good enough, even if he's not fit to go and win this. Particularly because he's racing over 3 miles too. He's got to be at least fit enough to get round. I think if it was a 2.5 miler, then he is just going for a little trot. But surely he's got to be, fit enough to be warrant racing in a 3 mile chase. They can't leave him that much short. So I don't think it's the worst idea to side with him. If not, maybe Elvis Mail, who won here, closed off his season last year, winning here and has won here plenty of times. It's quite a tough finish, isn't it, at Kelso? It's a long, steady incline. So you've got to have horses that have won around there before or are fit. Again, prices will dictate, but I don't know. You see Correct Rambler in a 6-runner field, 5 to 4. Worst bets?
Maybe. Yeah, we could be looking back if he wins the Gold Cup, couldn't we, and go, can't believe we got odds against on him on that day. Let's just look at the bit of a change of tack, go on the flat. I know, not swearing. Go on the flat, Joel. For the final Group 1 of the season for the juveniles, and I know you'll be thinking a couple of these men up in the try and third, as I said it, in a couple of years' time. Charlie Appleby's Supplement Age and Wisdom. There was a lot of talk about Diego Velasquez early on in the season. He's on a hat-trick for a race that Aidan O'Brien absolutely loves. The thing is, it's going to be very deep ground at Doncaster this weekend. It's only just raceable.
Who are you asking?
Joel.
Me or Joel?
Joel. Go with Joel first.
All right. Question or nominate. Well, look, in this, you look at it, and I think it is a 2-horse race, isn't it? And you said about the deep ground. Is James Doyle jocked up on Diego Velasquez?
He will be, yes.
Yeah. Or as somebody called him in the press this morning, James Ballydoyle?
Oh, very clever.
You like that one? Look, it looks a little bit like Battle Cry's going to make the run in, the pacemaker. No team tactics here, Gov. And Diego Velasquez will pick him up. And I couldn't back an Appleby horse this year. And there's the amount of times, and I think that's what really cheesed me off this year. I just can't get them right. And I think the ground is the downfall for Diego Velasquez. But I just think the way this looks last time. If you look at that, is it Capulet that Shemi Heffernan was on? The pacemaker. I think he was staying on again at the end, which Ryan got a bit scared of. I think it's all about the pacemaker. It's typical old school Cornwall Battle Cry pacemaker. Diego goes and picks him up. He's in 3 out of 3, and because he's got a decent rival this time, it's the first time I go off odds against.
There you are. Frankie.
You don't agree? You don't, I can see. Yeah, it's like my dad. When you don't agree, you just go, there you are.
No, I think he's very good. I do think he's very good, but they've got City of Troy as well now, haven't they? But this is a race that he absolutely farms. I am going to put one up at a big price. I'll do that now, Ben. So, Diego Velasquez.
No, if you can wait until next week, that'd be brilliant.
Hey?
Yeah, I'm going to put one up at a big price. I'll do that right now. Maybe do it next week.
No. Oh, dear. Right. I expect the fight to finish, granted, but at a massive price, 33-1 or thereabouts, Devil's Point. One on soft ground at Foss doesn't get much deeper than there. Arguably a little unlucky to be only third in the Solario, and then ran at St. Cloud, again in soft ground of the day. All right, finished 4th. The winner finished 2nd in the Grand Criterium de St. Cloud last week. The second finished 4th there. The winner was trained by David Minucier, who's got Devil's Point. Oisin Murphy been booked to ride. Look, something's got to finish 3rd. I think Dancing Gemini, I know he won on soft ground very impressively at Doncaster, but again, does he really want it this deep? God's Window, Red Hot Whisper and Dare Mile, they finished 1st, 2nd and 3rd in, of course, Maiden there. All right, that was on soft ground, but that was a massively removed from what they're running in here today. And I just think if you can 33-1 to get a little bit of place money, and worst strange things happens on deep ground, we know he handles it. If the others don't, he could maybe even get the lot on Oisin Murphy been booked. So I thought 33-1, he's worth a couple of quid each way. Frankie, are you with Diego Velasquez or are you taking him on?
Taking him on. Oisin rode a group double for David Minucier, didn't he, as well, the other day, over in France. So nice that he's booked again on one of his. No, I'm of the opposite opinion to Joel. I think the favourite wins, and you mentioned Capulet, the horse that was staying on, got quite close to Diego Velasquez, or Velasquez, as Joel was saying quite well. Well, the favourite here was 3rd to Rosalian at Ascot, who obviously won over in France, and the second horse, Alma's Mac, went and beat Capulet. Just checking, but I'm pretty sure. Went and beat Capulet. So, bit of intertwining form there. And if that Capulet run was as good as I thought it was, and wasn't, and Diego Velasquez was actually struggling to keep him off, then I think Ancient Wisdom holds the best for me, having beaten a horse that has beaten that horse.
There you are then, for the boys in blue. Ancient Wisdom. Boys in blue versus Kilmore. Frankie versus Joel in the final Group 1 of this season. Right, naps time. Are we going on what we've talked about, or is there something? I know there's going to be, where are we racing, Joel? Is it Navan or something? The bumper, is it this weekend? Galway, is it we're going for?
No, we're going overnight on Saturday and Sunday morning, Moonee Valley, race 2 in Australia. No, I'm going to go for the race we didn't talk about, 3:35 Cheltenham. Butch, very much named after me, for Ollie Murphy. I haven't got any prices whatsoever. Look, race 6 times, 2 wins, 3 seconds. Reading up on Ollie Murphy this morning, it said the horse once was rain, had big health scares last year. Can't wait to go chasing. Look, it's the best horse in the race. I watched back that Southall win from 3rd of October this morning, made of 13 lengths, that novice hurdle. He's only got one blot on his copybook, and he jumped like a fridge at Huntingdon a year ago, about this time last year. Apart from that, there are no negatives. Ollie Murphy's been open and honest, saying that had his health issues, but he's back. He's back to winning ways.
Butch, then one that we haven't looked at. Frankie, what's your nap?
I'm gonna stick with under supervision. I just think it's a nice bet. I'm hoping, but pretty confident that he'll be in the frame. And if you've got an each way price, Sam will absolutely throw the kitchen sink at it. I think he's got a great chance of winning, but if not, I'd hope you'd at least get your each way money back. So I think it's a fair enough each way bet on under supervision in the 225.
Okay, well, I'm going to go early or go home then with Red Rookie in the open. I know it's Joel's next best, but he's going to make it as my nap. He's a horse that I do like, yard in form, goes well fresh. What is not to like about Red Rookie in the opener? So Red Rookie, Butch, under supervision, up to those 3 get us off to a winning start. What's the plan for the weekend, gents? I know you're there both days. Frankie, enjoying the racing, are you?
Yes, I might head up tonight, I think. Saves a red-eye train tomorrow. And then it will be a steady Friday, racing again Saturday. And then I haven't decided if a night out in Cheltenham's on the card Saturday night, or if I'm going to be sensible and get the train back to London after racing. TBC. I think I'm probably past going to a Halloween party, that's for sure.
Joel, how'd you price it up? Out in Cheltenham, early night. How'd you price that up?
I'm just going to get an early night. Oh, hello, my darling.
What's plans for you the weekend?
Well, it's City and Manchester United and City at the weekend, isn't it? I took my lad who's 7 to his first football match to watch FC Copenhagen at the weekend at Old Trafford. We were 5th row from the front. Bought some tickets from somebody on Facebook who preferred to go and watch Crew play that night as opposed to watching United. Brilliant seats. And all the years I've been going to Old Trafford and watching them, I strongly believe that I have never seen a worse team live, in Manchester United colours than that. I was sitting. I was honestly the Anthony. I mean, he's a one-trick pony. I know it's a racing show, but let me get it out here. It's a one-trick pony and looks angry. Bruno Fernandes looks like he's been spiked. Your best player was Harry Maguire, and he scored the goal. And that new striker, Hoyland, he's very fast. That's it. Couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo, that lad. So apart from that, but anyway, so I'm going to be watching Man United absolutely smash Man City this weekend.
Keeping the faith. Hey, Crew got beat as well, so he had a really bad night, didn't he?
Yeah. And what about yourself? Sorry, I haven't got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know whether to go out to a Halloween party or have an early night. I don't know what to do myself. I might have the early night, I think, and let you.
Oh, hang on, the buffet's open.
And away we go. Right, gents, that's our first show done. Hopefully, there's plenty of winners there at Cheltenham this weekend for you to look forward to. And of course, join us next Friday as well. And we'll look ahead to is Wetherby and Ascot, isn't it? Jumping next week, the Charlie Hall Chase, and it's Breeders' Cup weekend. So loads to dissect next weekend. Whatever you're back in this weekend, the very best of luck. And as always, please gamble responsibly.